What's up, everybody? So it's January 1st, 2022, first video of the year, and I'm here making out my guiding list, my principles, so to speak, and a map, how I want to map out this year. Naomi in my accelerator group asked, if anybody had any suggestions on goal writing, how to map things out. So I wanted to make this video over the weekend for her and the people in the accelerator group, but for everybody, and just to line out how, rather than just like the standard goal settings, if you don't have a legend, if you don't have a path to follow, and more than that, if you don't have like a good idea of what it is that you want to imbibe and represent and be about, basically, then whatever goals that you have, whether or not they come true, it might end up being a bigger disaster. Because if you get something you're not ready for, then things won't go well. So that being said, being able to have a good idea of what it is that you want to be about is huge. And so this is a great exercise to do weekly, monthly, and then of course yearly. It's so important because the self-reflection is massive. So first off, it's so important, it's vital to ask yourself, what is it that you're about? And by that, principles that you're about. So Ray Dalio has a great book called Principles. And what is a principle? A principle is a universal truth. So, but I've kind of shifted this so that how you can apply principles to your own life, and how I do it and apply them to my life. So take out a nice moleskin book. You can see I got a bunch of them here. These are my journals. I got this one for Christmas. It's pretty cool. It's like made out of rocks instead of paper. So I do a lot of journaling, and it's been life-changing for me. I talk about it. I teach it in my accelerator group, in my mentoring group, and it's changed my life. And so that's why this is so important. So identifying what your principles are. So what is it that you want to be about? What is your universal truth? So writing down a list here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 on this page. It doesn't have, you can do 5, you could do 10, you could do 15, you could do 3, do more than one. But if you do one, make sure you do that one. If you just did one, let me put it this way, and you just went all in on that one, you probably wouldn't need the others. But so for me, what are some of my principles? And to give you an example, what my top one here is clarity, right? So for me, being a trader and an entrepreneur, having clarity and to see things objectively is crucial, especially right now. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. If we all had a little bit of clarity within ourselves, and that would be more of a guiding tool rather than all the influence, the phone, social media, mainstream media, all that stuff, man, you get it. So having some clarity about you and really diving in, and what does that mean to you? So when I write down my principles, I write down, what does this actually mean to me? What am I about? So for clarity, I wrote down how that would apply to my life, to be able to see things objectively. And like I said, as a trader, that if we could just do that, you're good to go. You could make it, the sky's the limit. But we get in our own way. Same thing as an entrepreneur, same thing in relationships, same thing in your health. So having some clarity, like for health, for an example, right? If you need to lose weight, but you're not clear on it, and maybe it's pretty cut and dry, but you can't be honest with yourself about that, have that clarity about how you're going to go about it, it's going to become very difficult. So next on my list was consistency. I have a tendency to procrastinate, and really just get distracted. There's just more and more messages, more emails, more stuff, more videos, more conspiracies, more just side wormholes. And it's hard. It makes it super hard to become focused and consistent. So, but what does consistency mean to me? To show up no matter what. And this is a great lesson I learned when I was getting clean and getting sober, a saying, and around those rooms is suit up and show up. So it doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to do. If you suit up and show up every single day, man, one of the reasons why I've stuck around this long is because I've stuck around this long. I've still just gotten up, gotten in the markets, answered my messages, made videos, tried to connect with people, did my best every single day, even when I didn't want to, especially when I don't want to. Suiting up and showing up, that is the backbone of consistency. To give my best effort at work, with family, friends, relationships, and to be fully involved in life itself, to be all in on life. It's one thing to be there, to be present, but like physically, bodily, but man, you could go through the day and not even understand or know what's happening. But to be really involved, to really just think to yourself, how is this experience right now, is a stepping stone to getting, being fully involved in life. So next on my list, ease. And what does ease mean to me? Like that's an interesting one. Ease. I don't even know if that's a principle, but just kind of like a vibe in general. And what I put there is to offer people who come into contact with me the opportunity to be comfortable with themselves. So that's what we all want. And I know you've like been going through life and or run into somebody and it's like, gosh, that just seemed like really kind of contrived, or like when somebody's speaking from an inauthentic place, and you can really tell. And when that, like, the biggest example, some people know what I'm talking about, some people won't, but there's always, in the party days, there's always like the drunk conversations, and even worse than that, there's the Coke conversations. There's a guy that or maybe you are, or hey, I've been them all, and they just like, it just seems so fake, and just like you hear the same things over and over and over again, the same stories, and that's because it's coming from a place where there's no ease within oneself. So ultimately, drugs, alcohol, those kind of things need to be taken to even get just false sense of ease. So if I can strive for that just in my day-to-day life, the way I am, and to offer people the opportunity to be like, okay, just be myself here, then that's when things start to open up, doors start to open up, and you can really connect with somebody, whether you're in sales, whether you're in a relationship or on a date, or whatever it is that you're trying to do, or just around the dinner table with your family. Having a sense of ease is a principle, and something that we can all strive for in my life, and to the point where I do a pretty good job of that already. And but I can always relate back to that, and really just continue to make that one of my principles. So a few more without just reading them all off is devotion, being fully devoted to my spirituality, myself, my health, my physical practices, my mental, spiritual, and last but not least, my financial abundance. Having devotion to that, having devotion to my goals, my dreams, my followers, people that connect with me online, and really, I do it to connect with other people and to have a sense of devotion to you guys and gals. So responsibility, I talk about this a lot, being 100% responsible for everything that happens in my life. Something happens and you get sick. Well, the thing is maybe you weren't taking enough vitamins. It's my responsibility to take care of my health. It's nobody else's. So that's a whole nother tangent. I wasn't even referring to all the stuff going on here, but being fully responsible for everything that has happened, and things happen to us that we couldn't help, but it's our responsibility to just face it, move through it, move forward. So being fully responsible for your life. Take 100% ownership. That is a principle to live by. So, and last but not least, fun, right? I put fun on my list because life's too short, and let's not take ourselves so seriously here, because ultimately, do we really know what the hell is going on here? Do we? Like, we wake up in the morning and the earth's still here, and traffic's going, and then cars aren't just running into each other, and planes aren't falling from the sky, and the sun isn't exploding, right? So all this stuff is we take our lives so seriously, the thing is we're just little specks. If we can put that into perspective of how not insignificant, but how small we are, that we're part of something much, much larger, and to have some joy and ease in life. And that will provide the clarity to really bring your vision about. So once you have your principles written down, next is the, okay, so just to backtrack, before we get into the goals, write down just some I am statements. I am statements for the year. I do this every single morning, but for the year. So, you know, I'm happy, I'm effective, I'm wealthy, I'm prosperous, I'm confident, I am abundant, all that stuff. Really, really just, and, you know, you can take this out, look at it every single day, say it in the mirror, whatever really starts to resonate with you. Maybe like you can just use this and tailor it to how it fits and what it is that you're doing. So I am strong, I am confident, I am healthy, I am prosperous, and make those a mantra in your mind that's looping, rather than like, the negative self-talk. I'm never going to make it. I don't have enough money. I'm not the right this. I'm not the right that. I didn't come from this. I didn't come from that. And then that becomes a negative, just looping pattern in the mind. So why not replace it with positive looping patterns about yourself, because you are ultimately creating your own reality around you. So next, once you have your principles, written down, you have your I am statements. Now is the fun part. 3 month goals, right? 2 to 3 3-month goals. And then repeat this process, 2 to 3 6-month goals, 2 to 3 1-year goals, 2 to 3 2-year goals, 2 to 3 5-year goals, 2 to 3 10 years goals. Go for it. And really put it down. And once you have those down, you can reverse engineer them. What I mean by that is, like, if a 3-month goal is I want to get funded $100,000 to trade with, then reverse engineer, like, okay, well, I just started trading 6 months ago, starting to have some progress. I've taken one challenge, failed it. How can I make this a reality for myself in my life? You could get in my program if you wanted to. That's going to be the best thing that you could possibly do if that was one of your goals, just using that as an example. And then you can reverse engineer, like, first month in the program, learning the ropes, learning how to use the tools, learning how to use the EA and bot, risk management, trade psychology. And then month 2, take a funding challenge. Month 3, take the verification, and boom, funded. So it could be anything like that. Or 6 months, I want to be 8% body fat. That's a tough goal. I've been trying that for a long time now. And, it's on me. I'll take extreme responsibility for that one. But that's how would I do that? Counting my calories, taking out the carbs, taking out the sugars for sure, and not eating during stressful situations, going to the gym at this time, and then you can revert. And then by, reverse engineer, 2 months in, this is where my body fat's going to be. 4 months in, this is where my body fat is. 6 months, boom, 8% body fat. So reverse engineering is then, writing it down first and then taking the steps backwards on how you're going to get there. So that's it. It's a pretty long exercise, but not too long. But the thing is if you think this is too long, maybe you don't deserve you're not ready to put in the effort anyway. So, and if you don't have a roadmap, it's going to be very, very, very difficult, if not impossible, to get where it is that you're going. I'm going to say that one more time, just to put it into perspective. If you don't have a map, if you want to get to Houston, Texas, and you live in Fargo, North Dakota, and you get in your car and start driving at the first of the year, expecting to get to Houston, Texas, but you have no idea, that would be a pretty easy one because it's like straight south. So you're going to go from North Dakota to South Zion National Park in Utah. That would be a little more difficult. And, there's some side roads, this and that. And there's side roads in life every single day. If you have no roadmap about where it is that you're trying to go, how do you expect you're ever going to get there? Maybe you will, but God, it's going to be a struggle. Your car's going to break down. You're going to like run out of gas for sure. You're going to be like, where am I going to get gas here? Where am I going to eat? So write down, and in this process, you start to learn about yourself. Who are you? Who am I? Why am I even here? Like, why do I want to be, have some sort of success outside of the 9 to 5 where I'm just making X salary and I'm not satisfied? Why aren't I satisfied? And the thing is most people aren't, because there is no map, just wandering through the deserts of life, thirsty, parched. They want something more for themselves. And the thing is there's no guidance on where to get to the watering hole. But if before, I'm just giving you guys a little path to how you can get there, and exactly how I'm meandering through this desert and doing these same things. By the way, if you're like, well, how do you know? It's helped me get off of heroin, hard drugs, depression, anxiety, long time of just, trying to figure things out, trying to figure things, who I am, building a healthy relationship with myself. And, through the time, like, helped me find a relationship with a higher power, spirituality, yoga, fitness, being an entrepreneur, connecting with other people, and ultimately just on a journey to being comfortable in my day-to-day life, comfortable in my own skin, and just being okay with who I am, which is something that, like, if I said that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, dude, I'm comfortable with who I am. But then I had to drink. I had to do all this stuff. I would put on this facade when I went out places, and actually through self-reflection, through different tools, and connecting and identifying my guiding principles of what I would like to embody for myself, helped me to get through these things. So if you're in those same places that I just listed off, trust me, it gets better, but you have to put in a lot of work behind it. The thing is you're 100% worth all the work. And what else are you going to do? Watch Netflix, eat junk food. So I could go on and on about that. But by doing this, you start to identify a purpose within yourself. Once you identify a purpose within yourself, it makes getting up in the morning a journey. Sure, you get stressed out and all that stuff, but you can reconnect with something deeper, that being your purpose, and it actually builds who you are into a better person every single day. And as an entrepreneur, as a trader, as a human being, you have to do that. Otherwise, you're going to get eaten alive and by, just the world around us, because it's not so much survival, but there's two ways to be. You could just be surviving, or you can be striving for something more and building a purpose within yourself. So this is a great framework to do it. It's January 1st. What else do you have to lose? Are you going to just keep doing the same things that you did last year? You know the saying, you probably heard it. If you want to do something different in your life, you got to do something different with your life. You can't get new patterns, new things, you can't get new stuff being the same person that you were. It'll never happen. To change the things that you want to change, you got to change everything about yourself in a positive way. And it's an opportunity to do that. So that being said, Happy New Year, everybody. Let's make this the year that you just go to places that you never thought possible. Maybe not in a financial sense, hopefully in a financial sense, but in like a sense about who you are and navigating this crazy time that you're at, the people around you, where they admire the person that you've become, as opposed to being like, here he is another year with the same old shit, saying he's going to lose weight, or saying he's going to do this and saying he's going to do that. And sure, man, why are you even going to bring that up? I speak, I talk about that from experience about, this is it. I'm going to change. I'm never going to do, I'm going to get clean. I'm going to, all this stuff. I've done it all. I've said it all. And ultimately, I'm just speaking from my own experience with that. So do something different, man. You're worth it. Your friends, your family, become something in the silence. Don't even tell them about what you're doing. Keep this to yourself and grind on it to the point where they're like, damn, dude, you've changed. Or, once they start like, kind of hating on you, then you know it's changed, and eventually that'll pass and they'll grow to admire you. But more importantly, get to a space where you start to admire yourself and you become that person that you needed when you were down and out, the person that you always knew and that like you looked up to, that you aspired to, and the person that you always needed when you were growing up. So like if you could look back to your younger self, and your younger self would be like, damn, dude, my 20 years in the road version of myself is crushing it, and I can't wait to be that person. You have an opportunity to start going down that road today. So I appreciate you. Thanks for watching this video. If you made it this long, I really hope this helped you, and I really hope you take the time to do this, because you are 100% worth it. And if nobody has said it to you today, I appreciate you. I think you're amazing, and let's have an awesome year, everybody. Peace.